Mm, okay, Julieta or Gabriela, can either of you guys hear me? Um, all right, Julieta, can you hear me? All right, Gabriela, what about you? Are you there? Uh, all right, so I can't hear either of you guys. I just heard something. Julieta, was that you?
Hey, teacher.
Hi, nice to see
Hi.
you.
Nice
Um,
to see you.
okay, I'm glad we finally got that to work. Yeah, Julieta, um, yeah, what have you been up to today? How's your day?
Today it's not so bad. I was at the office and then I'm back to home, but it's a downpour day.
Okay, so downpour today. Um, all right,
Yes.
all right, nice. That sounds like a decent day. It's a good day to sit inside and read and maybe drink coffee, um, or hot chocolate. Um, okay. And we've got Diego. Diego, how's it going?
Hi Joshua, how are you? Hi
Doing well.
Joshua.
Thanks for asking. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, and so Diego, what have you been up to today?
Well, I'm working. I have
Okay,
been working.
good. Um,
Uh,
yeah. And how's work been? Has anything exciting happened?
well, in the company where I'm working, have an issues because do you know the low price of crude of petroleum
Mm-hmm.
and this this news it's affect all companies in the country. But in this moment, uh, in my job, I have a project, but it's not different. This this problem around the world.
Okay. Um, okay, so yeah, maybe we'd say the company where I work has had some issues or some problems recently because of the low price of crude. Um, it has been affected a
Yeah,
lot. Okay, so it's maybe a little bit difficult um, at work right now, but okay.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
all right. And Gabriela, I'm not sure how's the connection looking. How's the connection, Gabriela? All right. Maybe not. Okay, so Diego, do you have any plans for this coming weekend?
Sorry, I don't.
Do you have any plans for this weekend?
For this weekend, um, I I will going to visit of my grandmother and maybe. uh, with my wife, we are going to do some things.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So going to visit your grandmother, spend some time with your wife. Okay, good. Edgardo, welcome to class. Edgardo, how's it going?
Uh, I'm good. I'm well. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well, thanks for asking. And Edgardo, what about you? How's your day been so far?
Really quiet. I am at work. Um, Not too busy, hopefully, or thankfully.
Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. And Marco, welcome to class as well. Marco, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks. You?
Okay, doing really well. Thanks for asking. And Marco, what about you? What have you done today?
Today, I was at work.
I went to work.
Yeah, I went to work, yes, right, in the past.
Yeah, I was at work or I went to work. You could even just say I worked. Marco, what do you do for work?
I work in Italy for an energy company.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
Um, all right, and so I guess we're good. Let's get started with today's class. So we'll be talking about the news and journalism. And let's start with Giulietta. Can you read the title and the next few lines?
The news. Today we will practice conjugating verbs, read comics, read and discuss news stories, and practice role plays.
Good. Okay. And maybe Giulietta, can you ask Marco the first question?
Marco, do you watch the news? Why or why not?
Yes.
Oh, which person?
Usually I watch the news online on Google News or on the newspaper.
Okay. Nice. So online, Google News, or from the newspaper? Perfect. Okay, Marco, can you ask Diego the next question?
Yes. Diego, do you prefer watching the news or reading the news? Why?
Okay, I prefer watching the news because it's for me it's much easy to explain that. Easier to explain. Yeah.
Okay. So you prefer watching the news because it's much easier to explain. It's much easier for you to explain to other people.
Yeah, there's much easier to explain other people and to resume the news. For example, some news in the papers are um, very a lot, very long. Sorry.
Okay, elaborate and long. Yeah, maybe some news stories
Yeah.
in the paper are very elaborate and long because we're talking about some news stories. They are long and elaborate. Okay. What about you, Edgardo? Do you prefer to watch the news or read the news, and why?
Nowadays, I prefer read the news because I think I need to read a lot, and also every time I read some news, I always learn some words of vocabulary or some phrases as well.
Uh-huh. Good. Yeah, that's a really good idea, actually. You should probably start reading some more news in Spanish. One thing, gerund. I prefer reading the news. And yeah, okay. I always learn some vocabulary and some phrases as well. And Gabriela, how's your connection look?
Hi, Joshua. Sorry, it's good now.
Okay, perfect. That's
Oh,
good to hear.
yeah.
Okay.
It was annoying because I could hear you, but I can't do anything. I can't did. I couldn't
I
do
couldn't
anything.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't do.
Good.
Yes. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. That is good. But it's nice to have you.
Thank you.
Edgardo, can you ask Gabriela the next question?
Gabriela, what news story are you following now?
Honestly, I don't like news very much.
The
So
news.
the news. I like to look for some science news, but I don't like everyday news very much.
Good. Can you explain why?
What is important to know, I know because my colleagues uh, talk about it, and I don't like see how bad the things are, and I think the news in the TV um, try to show us just the bad news.
Good. I don't like to see how bad things are. I think the news on TV tries to show us just the bad news. Good. Yeah, that's a really good point. All right. Giulietta, what about you? Are you following any news stories right now?
Now in Italy, the main news is about the election of the president. Today is the election day, but probably we will wait until the weekend to know the name of the president.
Okay.
So
Eh,
it's not it's an election day.
Okay. Yeah, today is an election day. Good. Good change. Okay, nice. I think that's good. Does anybody have any questions or comments on this page?
No?
Okay. And let's read through these words. Marco, can you read through these words?
Yes. Correspondent, future, breaking news, tabloid, story, journalist, editorial, yellow journalist.
Okay, good.
Is it right?
Excuse me?
Is it right?
Yeah, you did a pretty good job.
Okay.
A couple small things. Correspondent. Can you repeat correspondent?
Corresponding.
Correspondent.
Corresponding.
Yeah. Feature.
Feature.
Tabloid.
Tabloid.
Journalism.
Journalist.
Journalism.
Journalism.
Yeah, journalism. Journalism.
Journalism. Oh.
Yeah, say it slowly. So, start
J.
Na. Liz.
Liz. Journalism.
Close. Journalism. One more time. Journalism.
Journalism.
Yeah.
Journalism.
Journalism.
Okay.
Journalism.
Journalism.
Better. Good. Okay. And does anybody have any questions about any of these words?
Teacher, the word correspondent is the synonym of reporter?
Yeah, pretty much. It's somebody who keeps in touch. Yeah, it's pretty much a synonym for reporter. Usually it's a reporter who is far away. So we'd say a foreign correspondent. So somebody who's not right there in the office. But good. Okay. Okay. Any other questions?
What does future mean?
Okay. Feature. Who knows what a feature is?
Some characteristic.
Okay. Yeah. So it is a characteristic. It's a little bit different when we're talking about like a feature story. What's a feature story? Okay. So it's pretty much just an article or a story. It's a particular topic, and it's generally at length. So it's like a long, I guess, article, broadcast, or program devoted to a certain thing. It can be a person, an act, really anything, but it's usually pretty long, is the feature. Any other questions?
Yes. What is yellow journalism?
Okay, good question. Who knows what yellow journalism is?
Journalism is writing newspaper. And yellow is yellow is like a banana.
Yeah, it's a color.
I don't know.
That's okay. Who knows what yellow journalism is? Does anybody else know? Okay, so false journalism, slander, lies written about someone or something. So often in tabloids you have lots of yellow journalism. Tabloids are gossip magazines, things like that, gossip newspapers. And so they'll make up stories in order to be more interesting.
It's okay. Thank you. I understand it, I think.
Okay, more interesting. So yellow journalism, yeah, maybe, you know, somebody who's trying to dig up dirt on somebody, and so they just make up a bad story about them that's a lie. That would be considered yellow journalism. Okay, any other questions on here? Okay, let's go on to the next page. And let's have Diego. Can you try the first one? So fill in the blanks and conjugate the verb.
Okay, our first blank. In Greece, for the past 2 weeks, curating this story, we turned to him now. I think it's breaking news.
Are foreign breaking news?
No. I correct. Maybe future.
Not quite. Can anybody help him out with this?
Probably is correspondent.
Correspondent. Yeah.
Correspondent.
Yeah. Does that make sense, Diego?
Yeah.
Okay. So our foreign correspondent, how would we conjugate the verb to be?
Are correspondent. So Ruben is correspondent in Greece for the past 2 weeks. Covering.
Okay. Yeah. So how do we conjugate the verb?
Are.
Okay,
Our
not R. Um, can anybody help him out with this one?
Uh, maybe have been.
Okay, so it's just one person.
Uh, has
Mm-hmm.
been.
Yeah. Our foreign correspondent has been in Greece for the past 2 weeks. Um, so he's still in Greece, so that's why we need the present. But also he has been in Greece, so we'd use the perfect. So it's the past and the present. So can you read that whole sentence one more time, Diego?
okay, our foreign correspondent has been in Greece for the past 2 weeks covering this story. Return to him now.
Good. And just remember, it's not a history, it's a story.
Story.
Yeah. Okay, good. Edgardo, what about the next one?
Today's blank is about an officer who the drug trafficking ring in New York City. Mm. Today's breaking news is about an officer who um, who has been maybe breaking breaking the drug trafficking in New York
Okay.
City.
Yeah, has been breaking the drug trafficking ring in New York City. This is good, and it would grammatically work. Generally, the news wouldn't cover a story about an officer working to break a drug trafficking ring in New York City, so it'd have to be in the past tense if they're gonna put it on the news.
Okay.
So
Have been
just the
no,
past tense,
who okay
simple
who
past.
broke.
Yeah. And breaking news works. I think we'd use something else. So breaking news, what else could work?
Uh,
Okay, feature. So either would work. Today's feature or today's breaking news.
okay.
Okay. And we're actually gonna have to use correspondent. Maybe we can, that's better. Um, okay, and Gabriela, what about the next one?
That news agency is rubbish. All they have printed for the past 10 years is yellow journalism.
Good, nice job. And Julieta, what about the next one?
The journalist who's the terrorist. Hmm. Held captive for the past month was released yesterday.
Okay, yeah, the held captive for the past month. Yeah, that's good. We could also use the past progressive. Were holding captive for the past months was released yesterday. Um, yeah, that would work for sure. Nice job, Julieta. Marco, what about the next one?
Yes. Breaking news, the euro finally recovered, simple past.
Hmm. Yeah, good. The euro finally recovered. Perfect. Okay. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay, well done. go to the next one. And let's have Diego. Can you read the role of the little boy? And let's have Edgardo. Can you read the role of the tiger?
Okay.
Okay. I know more about the private lives of celebrities than I do about any governmental policy that will actually affect me. I'm interested in things that are none of my business, and I'm bored by things that are important to know.
The media aim to please.
Maybe the communique should be discussed in chief multiple rooms.
Okay. Good. Can you repeat economy?
Economy
Discussed.
discuss.
Keep motel rooms. Yeah. Um, policy. Policy.
Policy,
Celebrities.
celebrities,
Lives.
lives,
And private.
private.
Okay. And can you repeat this first speech bubble one more time then?
Okay, I know more about at private, private, private,
Private.
private,
Private.
private lives of celebrates than
Lives.
lives,
Lives.
lives,
Celebrities.
celebrities
Yeah.
than I do about any governmental policy that will actually affect me.
Good. Yeah, I'm interested in things that are none of my business, and I'm bored by things that are important to know. Okay. And Edgardo, what's happening in this comic? Can you explain to us?
Yes, it's a criticism to the tabloids,
It's a
um,
criticism of the tabloids.
of the tabloids, because it's like to express if um, the maybe if the important news could show could they were shows as the gossip news are shown, probably the public will be more interested in that.
Okay. Because it says if we're presented would be more interested
More interested, yes, in those
in that news.
news.
Um, okay. Yeah, I think it's a little bit more broad than just tabloids. Um,
Also, the public maybe the people that buy the newspapers.
yeah, it's also a criticism of the public. Okay. Um, all right. Yeah, Gabriela, do you think it's a comment on, what you'd call real news stations as well? Is it a comment on that?
Uh, I don't really understand the end. Why we talk about cheap motel rooms.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I guess cheap motel rooms. It's seedy, like kind of like news. Yeah, it's not clean. It's kind of dirty. It has sexual overtones.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, just kind of cheap, seedy, maybe interesting things. Um,
Uh-huh.
and the economy is kind of, yeah, obviously more important.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yeah. Um, um, I think yes. I think the news talk about too much about celebrities, and they talk about policy too, but it's just in one point of view, from one point of view.
Okay, yeah,
So
nice. That's a good complaint too. Okay, so yeah, oftentimes it just gives people what they want to hear. Okay, I think we're good here. Does anybody have any comments or questions for anything on this page? Okay. Um, let's come back to this. Let's do some reading. And Giulietta, can you read the first part of this page?
Daily Scheme, US-Cuba relations. What to say when you think you are done with your run and you realize you are only halfway there? Well, that's super annoying. Hey, Cuba, last month, the USA and Cuba announced they were ready to have relations again after more than 50 years of freezing each other out. And President Obama was really excited about it. The two governments, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's not that loud.
Okay. The two governments held talks in Havana last week to hammer out the details, but then yesterday, Cuban President Raúl Castro said he had a few demands that he forgot to mention.
Good. Really good pronunciation. Nice job here. Like, hey, Cuba, that was great. Marco, can you read the rest of the paragraph?
Yes. Small things like the USA fully lifting the trade embargo on Cuba and compensating the country for millions of damages the embargo has caused, and he wants the USA to return its military base at the Guantanamo Bay, all of which are highly unlikely to happen anytime soon. No word yet or what this could mean for future talks. Meanwhile, Raul's big bro, Fidel, appeared to get into the mix. Yesterday, he apparently wrote a letter saying that he approxed plan to end the long-standing US-Cuba fleet, but that he still doesn't trust Americans. Great.
Good. Okay. And so, yeah, this is full of slang, and it's really informally written. You did a good job, Marco, here. Can you repeat appeared?
Appeared.
Good. Approved.
Approve.
Approved.
Approved.
And then feud.
Feud. But I don't know the meaning of feud.
Does anybody know what a feud is?
Sorry?
Sorry. Does anybody know the definition of feud? What's a feud?
Something like a kingdom? No.
Oh, yeah.
Not quite. So a feud is just like a fight. If you look online, it's a state of prolonged mutual hostility. So you can feud with your family, with friends, countries can feud.
Okay.
It's just disputes. Yeah, and so feudalism, it's a little bit different. So, yeah, feudalism. Yeah, just slightly different.
Yeah.
That would be like the kingdom, sort of. thing. Okay, and does anybody have any questions about anything in this page? Any questions here? Okay, and let's do some.
Sorry, I have one.
Okay.
Sorry, I just
Okay.
tried to find out. To hammer out.
Good. Hammer out. Perfect. I should have actually asked
Hammer
you.
out. Sorry.
What does that mean? Oh man, hammer out. Does anybody know what hammer out means?
The hammer is the car?
Excuse me?
No. The Jeep hammer? No. It's not this word.
I'm not sure.
Ah,
A hammer is a tool, so it's usually a tool to fix things. If we're looking, hammer.
Maybe like find out.
Find out. Not quite.
It's the
But it's a
time to
hammer.
talk.
It's a time to talk.
It's the time to talk about a problems. It's too similar to to go mm, to a solution.
Okay. So I showed you a picture of the hammer. We can use hammers to fix dents in things. So something is dented, generally metal. You use a hammer to smooth out. Use a hammer to smooth out the dents. So when we hammer out, what's it saying here? Okay, hammer out details. It's like smoothing out the details. So fixing the problems in something. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and any other questions here? What about an embargo? What's an embargo? Does anyone know?
Maybe it's a rule. Um, okay, I don't know.
Okay. Does anybody else know what an embargo is?
I think that is when a country cannot sell their product.
Yeah. Good. It's a ban on the trade of commercial activities by a country.
Yes.
So you say you can't sell those things, we won't buy them, stuff like that. Okay. And good. Let's go on to the next page, and let's have Marco. Can you ask Diego the first question?
yes. Diego, what do you think about this topic? Do you care? Is it important?
Well, I think it's a good news because the countries should be still a good relationships between the countries, and it's most important um, for the people of Cuba, because do you know the the peoples uh, don't can't to intro in the US, and I think it's the first step to broke the for example, it's common in our country to say broke the ice,
Breaking the ice.
breaking the ice. I think the conversation between the presidents is good to debate relationships between the countries.
To improve. So
Yeah.
I think the conversation between the presidents is good to improve the relationship between the countries. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. Just remember, so last month they were really talking about ending the embargo, ending everything. They were going to be pretty open about everything. But then just recently, Raul Castro kind of went back and he said, yeah, he wants some things that the U.S. probably won't do. And so we're not sure yet what it means for future relations between the countries. So just remember, what this article is about is saying things were really good after a long time of being bad. They got better, and then they've been going back down. And so we're kind of unsure as to where they're going to go from here. Does that make sense, Diego? Okay.
No, I don't know.
Okay, so if we go back to the article, last month, the US and Cuba announced they were ready to have relations again after more than 50 years of freezing each other out, which is pretty much just not talking or doing anything really. So they had talks and they were hammering out the details. So things were going well. All of the problems are being solved. But yesterday, so just yesterday, Raul Castro said he wants the U.S. to do things that the U.S. will not do. So the countries were going to open up to each other until yesterday when Raul Castro said he wants things to happen that will not happen. And now no one knows what talks will be like in the future and if the countries will open up to each other. Does that make sense? A little bit more now, Diego. Diego?
I'm sorry. Uh, okay, I don't know because I think it's in whatever case the conversation is the first step to the dialogue.
Okay.
I think the 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 uh, the scope to to do better relationships between the countries is the first steps. What is the person to the benefits is the people of Cuba.
Good. Okay, that was well said. So yeah, even dialogue is the first step. Okay, Edgardo, what about you? What do you think? Do you agree with Diego or not, and why?
Yeah, I totally agree because this to me is a good good news because uh, even though we don't know where it's going to end this, um, at least is the truth is both countries have the will to get to a solution, and this solution means that the whole country, Cuba, is going to change their and improve their daily life conditions.
And maybe daily conditions will improve.
Daily condition.
Okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so hopefully that will be the case. All right, and Gabriela, what about you? What do you think here?
Mm, I think it started good, but I think this piece was a bit pretended from Cuba because
Pretended?
pre, not real, not real, or yeah, not real. I think because they wanted things what won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to show the the US wouldn't like to um, wouldn't like the good relation because they won't do what they said.
Okay. Okay, but I think the talks were a little bit of an act, we could say, because they wanted things that won't happen. Um, they tried to maybe make it seem like the U.S. Um, maybe refused to have good relations because they won't do what Cuba said. Is that kind of what you were trying to say?
Yes, it sounds better.
Okay. Okay. All right, good. And I guess last but not least, Giulietta, what about you? What do you think?
Yes, I agree with Gabriella. I think Raul is afraid to lose power, and he, after 50 years of his uh, strong leadership, it's difficult to become a normal person, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and so remember, it wasn't Raul who was leadership. That's more
Yes,
recent. It was his brother Fidel.
yeah, but I think they were both.
Yeah. Okay. Um, okay. Yeah. All interesting points. Good. Does anybody have any last questions or comments on this page? Okay. And we could do a role play, or we could do a comic. What do you guys want to do? A role play or a comic? Any ideas? Okay, let's stick here.
Comic.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, perfect. That's fine. Gabriela or Giulietta, can you read the comic?
These ludicrous conspiracy theories are just a smokescreen to hide the incredible truth.
Yeah,
Plot
incredible.
and secrets. Incredible truth. Truth. Plots and Secrets Monthly.
Good. Okay, and does anybody know what's
Can-
happening in this comic? Why is it funny?
Because he goes back and forth, because he talk about conspiracy theories, and then even conspiracy theories are a small screen to hide the truth. So it's a conspiracy of a conspiracy.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's talking about like the crazy theories, but then says they're just a smokescreen for a bigger conspiracy. They are a smokescreen, or something to hide the bigger theories. Yeah, exactly. So he's going back and forth. Diego, what's a conspiracy theory?
I don't know. I I'm not an expert of conspiracy, but I think that uh, it's a trade secret in the government elites or with the secret service. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, so definitely conspiracies are secrets. Um, Edgardo, can you give me an example of a conspiracy theory?
Well, one is about the man in the moon. Some people say that is a hoax, and that we never came to the moon, never get to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. So the moon landing hoax is a conspiracy theory, for sure. So they think that people conspired to trick the world into believing that people landed on the moon. Good. And yeah, really good. Maybe Edgardo, can you ask Gabriela the last question?
Gabriel, why do you think that people are drawn into conspiracy theories?
Uh, I think maybe because they are these theories are interesting, and they want to believe them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe, for sure. Um, okay. And we are just about out of time. Does anybody have any questions before we finish up?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming into class, and hopefully I'll see you guys all again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.